Okay, today's topic I am so excited to talk about because it's honestly one of my favorite things to share about, and that's social media tips. And this can feel like a super overwhelming topic and it could go on for hours, but I'm going to give you my best social media tips and how to make it really your own, because that's what it's all about. So there are a few type of people that come into the coaching world, and if you're like me, when I first started, I told my coach Molly, I said the biggest fear I have is posting on social media, because I don't post anything except for major life events and every now and then. Like, I don't post often. I'm a very private person, and that was my biggest hesitation. But she framed it this way for me, and it was really helpful. And you signed up to be a coach because you believe in what this can do for other people because of what it's done for you. Now, you have that gift to share with people, and that starts with sharing on social media. Social media can get a bad rap these days because of the way that we can sometimes compare our lives to other people and just watch their highlight reel, but we're there to be real with people, to share a real look at what life looks like and the struggles and the triumphs, and be there for someone when they need someone. And that's the coolest part about being a coach, is you get to share on social media, to be a light in this world, and to be someone for someone else who needs you. So I wrote down some things. I'm going to go into 5 topics. I've got notes here because I don't want to miss anything. You might want to get a notebook out too, and this is going to be a helpful 10 to 15 minutes. So my first tip is be authentic. Have your personal brand and be yourself. So this starts with going beyond the surface level. It's not just like you posting, I got my sweaty selfie in today, or my picture, here's my sweaty selfie. Like, that's not what this is about. I want you to share a why behind why you do this. Why was your workout helpful today? Maybe you're a busy mom who doesn't have time to get to the gym, but you still want time for yourself. How have you made this work? How can you give tips for someone else to make it work in their life and open that invite to others to join you? Coaching, you can either be like, I'm on a team call with my girls tonight and share a picture of a boomerang, or you can share a picture and explaining why was that call empowering to you? What does this team mean to you? Sharing more of the why behind it, not just a surface level. Beachbody isn't your life, it will give you life. And that means, like we've talked about in other videos, you share you first and Beachbody is sprinkled in. Like, this isn't to be a page, your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever platforms you use, it isn't intended for it just to spew Beachbody. It is you first. You're a mom, maybe, or a dog mom, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a fitness lover. Maybe you're a craft beer lover or coffee lover. Like, what are those things that make up you? You talk about those things and talk about experiences and stories of how coaching has helped you become a better person in all those areas. Next thing is sharing. Another helpful thing to be sharing on your page and your stories and your social media is weekly progress photos. So when someone goes to your Instagram or your Facebook, I'm talking more heavily on Instagram because at the time this video is made, Instagram is where it's happening. And I strongly suggest that if you like posting on Facebook, you do both Facebook and Instagram. You can copy paste same posts and have them there, because there's warm markets to be reached out to in both places. But with your weekly progress photo, this doesn't only keep you accountable with your goals and your fitness routine, because you think about, okay, I have a progress picture to share in a few days, I'm going to stay on top of my A game. It also shows that when people come to your page, you have something to offer. So when they go to your Instagram profile, that top 9, so those first 9 pictures you see on someone's feed, I want you to have a progress picture, and that shows that you have something to offer. And I don't want it to be, you don't have to have this crazy transformation. I don't have a crazy transformation. I haven't lost probably any weight, but I look and feel a lot better. They can be face-to-face Instagram or transformations. They can be full body. They can be whatever that transformation you want to share that day. I do a mixture of face-to-face. I talk about the mental transformations. You can do a progress picture with full body as far as a program transformation. Be doing these once a week. They're really powerful for those people to see that you're showing up consistently, and it keeps you on your A game. Some tips for transformation pictures: to have a bright light or lit room, and have a plain background behind you. So a wall with not a lot of stuff, so there's not a lot of distractions behind you, and have a pretty simple outfit on. I tend to do a black top and black bottoms, or something that's not super busy so people can see you, and just keeping it simple with the background like I shared, and that keeps for a clean, crisp transformation picture. The other thing too is with the side-by-side pictures, I don't want, like I said, with you sharing this isn't for you to say, here's my 2-week transformation. Get deep in there below the surface level and share what has this last 2 weeks done for you with these programs. Being real about the transformation, being real about the process, even being open that it's not perfect, but you're still showing up and making that work for you. How can they join you? All right, number 3, we've already kind of touched on, but the next thing is you're not just a Beachbody coach. You are a lot of things. And first, you're you. Second, you're a coach, and you pepper in the other things that make up you as a person. And you pepper in coaching. This isn't intended for you to just have in your bio, I'm a Beachbody coach. Like, people want to get to know you first because we're in a relationship business. What we have to offer and inviting people is great, but if they don't get to know you, they don't want anything to do with what you have to offer. So lead with you. Next thing I want to touch on for topic or tip number 4 is having good lighting and taking good pictures. So as far as this can be super overwhelming for some people because they'll make their posting schedule for the week and then they're like, I don't have any pictures to post. And I've been there because it's been like 8 o'clock on a Monday night and I'm like, I haven't posted yet today and I don't have any decent pictures. So here's my top tip for that. I stockpile pictures. I will take real life pictures, like real time pictures for that day to post, but it's so helpful over the weekend. Grab a tripod, grab a friend, your boyfriend, whoever, and go have them take some pictures for you. Grab a few different outfits, some workout clothes, regular clothes, find some good lighting. A time of day that's really good for it is earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon or evening so the lighting isn't so bright. You'll learn more about this as you go and like what works for good pictures. I was not an expert with this, still am not, but stockpile pictures, get different outfits. Something really good about that is makes your pictures brighter and more appealing, and it is important to have good pictures because you want to be drawing people in. Something else with good pictures and good lighting is you can take selfies inside, get in front of the window. You'll find what works well for you in your house. Trust me, Coach Probs, you will find a place to take a good picture in your home. I have a Diva light. You can get big ones, small ones. That's what I'm using right now, and it helps adjust really bright lighting and gives more natural look. I use that for selfies. I prop my phone up on the most random things, and don't feel weird about it. Like, this is 2020. If you're watching this in the year of 2020, people don't care if you're taking a selfie. Share your pictures with your message, and it is important, and that's what it's all about. The other thing is show your face. It can be easy to take a picture of your dog or of just your child, but people want to see you too. If you really want to get behind good marketing and storytelling and sharing the real you on your page and making this business successful, it starts with being vulnerable and showing your face. So it's really important to be doing that. The next thing I wanted to touch on as well is tip number 5. And I'll go into the bottom. At the end of this video, I'll kind of wrap things up with a few other tips to tie into the whole pictures and editing and things like that I find helpful. So tip number 5, Instagram stories. Okay, so Instagram stories are phenomenal. They are my favorite thing to use on social media because it is the real behind the scenes stuff that people want to see. Like, your posts are great. You should be posting every single day, but your stories are the place where you can be really real with your people and share openly about your struggles and what's working well and just life stuff. And I love to, some of my main things I share about every day are my miracle morning. I share why it's helpful for me. I share tips around it. I share the accountability. I show my workouts, which you should be showing workout clips. I add in polls to engage with people. Like, what do they struggle with most? Is it fitness or nutrition? What kind of workouts do they like? Do they struggle with accountability? I'm engaging so I can invite from those questions. I'm also sharing like some of my meals throughout the week. I share how these programs have helped me create a consistent schedule. These are just ideas I'm spewing out to you because stories are so easy and they don't have to be overthought at any sort of level. Like, you can just take people with you throughout your day and share the realness of what happens behind the scenes. Talk about coaching, and you can talk about just your relationship, and you can show pictures of your family and just making it very candid, not overthinking it, and doing what works best for you. Something I like to tell my coaches is it can be really easy to get caught up in watching other people's Instagram stories, which I think is fantastic if you want some inspo and maybe just seeing what other people are doing that are successful. But here's the other piece to that. There's always another side to it. That's great. There's tons of trainings you can go watch somewhere else. You don't need to watch someone else's Instagram stories to figure out what to do, because the second you start watching them, you will start to act like them, and that's not you. I want you to be yourself in your stories. If you see people putting a ton of text on their stories and doing certain filters and stuff, go the other way. Like, be different and stand out, because Facebook and Instagram will notice those things. I want you to be yourself and be vulnerable, because that is what speaks to people. The biggest compliments and the biggest comments I get from people that mean the most to me is that they're like, you're just real. And that's what I want for you. I want people to just see the real you, not you acting like someone else, because that's the second it starts feeling very uncomfortable and easy just to give up, because it's defeating. So be yourself. Next thing is with the stories as well, is I love to add call to actions in there. Your post can do this, like you can share a transformation story and how these programs have helped you, and then inviting simply by saying, if you struggle with a busy schedule as a mom as well, I would love to help you create that consistent schedule. And if you ever want to chat more, comment below, or you know where to find me. It's very simple. Don't overthink the call to actions, but at the end of your post, giving that little step for them to reach out to you, or a place for them to know where they can go if they need help. In your stories, super easy to do this too. You can say exactly what I just said. You can put little notes on your stories, or you can do polls for call to actions. I do this almost once a day. I do some sort of call to action in my stories, so people know I always have something to offer and what I have for them. The next thing I want to wrap up with is a few more tips on social media posting and tips that I find helpful for pictures and picture taking. So presets, I use these. These are things you can buy from Etsy and other influencers that make presets, which is basically like already set filters you can add to your pictures. Super easy to do. Like, if I can figure it out, anyone can figure it out. It makes your pictures lighter. You figure out what your vibe is. You can find millions of different types of filters and presets. So go experiment a little bit. Find some presets you like, purchase them. They're like $5 to $10. And that's what I do for all my pictures. I plug them into Lightroom, which is an app, and then you just apply it to the picture and it saves to your phone. Super easy. Highly suggest getting presets. Once again, stockpile the pictures. It's great to go back and be able just to have pictures of you with different angles and making sure you've got like selfies and full body and like turning your face and just trying different things. It can feel weird, but it's also kind of a fun way to just get uncomfortable and like be okay with being who you are in front of a camera. Next thing is self-timer. Like I said, I'm propping my phone up on the most random things all the time to get the pictures for my Instagram posts and Facebook posts. Like, don't feel weird about it. Everyone does it, if you're in the coaching world especially. Next thing is just don't overthink it. Please don't overthink Instagram and Facebook or social media posting, because it's meant to be just vulnerable and real. And I know that word is used a lot in this time of this era, but it's true. Once you're yourself and you're speaking to your people, they will be attracted to you, and they won't have a problem saying yes to what you have to offer if you're being 1000% transparent and real on your social media. Be conscious of your feed. Take a look, do some constant like evaluations of what's looking good on your feed, what's working well on your stories, on your posts, like what are people liking to see from you. And I promise you, this is just like a muscle. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. I felt super uncomfortable with it, but I got a lot better at it, and I started to enjoy posting. Like, I look forward to that post I get to put out there and to connect with that person who maybe needs me that day, because you don't know who needs you today. That's why you show up in your stories and in your posts in the most real way you can. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is around the whole idea of consistently posting, because that is the biggest struggle for a lot of coaches. And this comes down to, and maybe the ideas of what you can be posting. I share my weekly posting schedule in our team page every week, so I can give you guys some ideas on what to be sharing. But we also have a calendar in our team page that shares like when our challenge groups are starting and our coaching info sessions and all those things, so you know what you should be talking about. But each week I'm sharing things around my lifestyle stuff, engaging with my audience and asking questions in my posts, my marriage, my fitness, with coaching. Like, I'm sharing all those things. Trifecta are all different things of what make up me, and I'm just adding and making myself real. And through personal development, you will learn a lot about yourself and things that you can be posting. So that's also important, to be keeping up with your personal development, to be learning about yourself and what you can share with people and what they need to hear from you. So It's a constant journey. It's just like a muscle, but posting and sharing on social media is vital to a growing business because we're not in a business of selling things. We are in a business of relationships and letting people know who we are. And that starts with our constant self-growth and sharing that with the world and inviting them in to do this with us. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any more detailed questions, let me know, but there's tons of good trainings and resources out there as well, aside from what I just shared today.